Good morning. Hello, everyone. She Sparks Business community. We are excited about this training, time management for people who have no time, which we all can relate from time to time. For those who are on our Zoom chat, check your email. You did just get sent an attachment that Emily will go over in just a second. If you're just jumping on our Facebook Live, hashtag replay, hashtag live, thank you for taking your time to join us today and learn something new. Before we begin, I want you to all, whether you're on Zoom or live, answer this question in the comments and in the chat box. When are you truly ready to start your day? Think about that and put it in the chat box and put it in the comments. When are you ready to start your day? We'll give you time to answer that. Yeah, so let's see everybody's answers. When are you ready to start your day? Okay, I love these answers. 9 a.m., after my workout, after my shower, maybe once our feet are on the ground. Really think about, when are you ready after my coffee? When are you ready to start your day?
After you hit snooze 3 times.
Once my kids are at school. All right, I'm going to jump into that question in just a second, but again, welcome. We're excited to provide 5 free tips on how to increase your time, your value, and get the business and professional life balance that we all deserve, right? Tips on time boxing, freeing up your schedule, and getting more done, all while celebrating our next free online course. So
it's our first free course that we've ever done.
Yes, and so we're super excited about that. Okay, I'm gonna dive into that question that I just asked you. Actually, before we do, will you share what the 30-day focus grid is and how to receive that?
Yep, so all you have to do is, are we doing comment pick me on Facebook?
Yes.
So on Facebook,
Or
if you're
share
watching, then share the video and comment pick me, and we will send you this 30-day focus grid. So for this gives you tips on how to use the grid, how to separate your time up into value categories, so you're actually spending your time doing things that are going to advance your life, right? Because so often I feel like we get stuck in these tasks that just eat up our time. And then there's this awesome grid on the back, which you may have seen before, but we take it to a whole new level, and we do it a little bit differently on this sheet. So it's really, really effective. It's something we have used every day.
We're actually looking at it right now.
Yep. So it's really, really helpful.
Yep. So share that video if you would like it for free. All right, I'm going to dive into that question again for those jumping on. When are you ready to start your day? When I got asked this question, and I asked Emily this question this morning, you can have so many answers. There's none that's wrong and there's none that's right. But for me, the purpose of this training of when you're really ready to start your day is when your day is already finished. Let me repeat that. When your day is already finished, that's when you're ready to start your day. So we're going to dive in a lot about time management, why that relates to the question everybody has just answered for us. And so I really want to begin with, we all have the same 24 hours in one day. We all do. And some people are able to achieve more happiness, more productivity, success, all in the same amount of time that everyone else has. And so it's really crazy and fascinating if you think about that, and all the billionaires and all of these people who are really taking over the world, how do they do it with the same time that we have? And money can be spent and made back. Health can decrease and increase, but time is something that it only goes once, and it never comes back. And for those who have kids can totally relate that, right? And just so you know, the 5 free tips, this is going to be for everyone at every different level, whether you're sales, an entrepreneur, just a team member of a company. This will really, you'll get something out of this. So here's 5 free tips. We recommend you to take massive action on what you're about to learn, apply it to your life in different ways that you want to your goals and to your future. get a piece of paper and a pen because we're about to dive in. So here are some strategies to help you with time management, as I like to call it, time boxing, because that's how we are with life, is just boxing our time, whether it kicks our butt or we kick it. So tip number 1, stop focusing so much on to-do lists. Yes, to-do lists are nice. We have to have them. It helps get things out of our head. I'm not telling you not to have a to-do list, but do not rely so much on your to-do list. Have you ever wrote a list of all of these things you had to do and you just don't get them all done? Yeah, because I know I sure have. However, to-do lists, they don't help you prioritize what's your number 1 priority and thing that you need to get done. So identify your priorities. What are they? And if you want to jump in too, feel free. But identify what your priorities are. What's going to bring the most cash flow to your business? What's going to grow your business? What's going to help you double your sales? Go calendar base. Don't go to-do list base. So time block on your calendar, your marketing, your sales, your calls, your meetings, creative time, tech time, and most importantly, time block your low-hanging fruits. This is your emails, your text messages, and all of those other crazy notifications that tend to bug us and be squirrels all day long. So time blocking these things will allow you to really, it'll help you make your task feel more serious, and you'll have actual deadlines to get things done. So place it on your calendar and stick to it. And we've really been able to do that and take over all of our tasks and feel way more productive.
Yeah, for sure. So tip number 2, this is about kind of brain dumping. So all of the time we have these things going on in our heads of like, I have to do this, I have to remember to do that. It's kind of like the emotional labor that we all kind of go through all day, every day. So carry a notebook with you or talk into a recorder. So the more that we have open on our computer, the more tabs you have open, the more programs that you have. Think about that the same way that you think about your brain. So if you have all that stuff going on and all that stuff running, it's going to slow you way down, just like it slows your computer down. It's going to slow down your productivity, and it's just going to make you feel crappy, right? I have a dear friend who had a boss who would speak into his phone like every 5 minutes, probably every 10 minutes, with just the littlest things that would come into his mind while he was working. So he would be like, wrap present for tonight's birthday party, and then like set his phone down and like continue working. Like just these little things that pop into your mind. If you make a quick note of it on your phone or in a notebook, it's gone, right? You don't have to focus on it anymore. And then when you have that low hanging fruit time, you can go in and be like, okay, let me look at what I was thinking about earlier. So then you can free up those tabs that are happening in your brain. I have 50 tabs going all the time, so it's really hard to like focus and be productive. So just write it down. When it comes into your head, write it down or speak it into your phone.
Yep. No, I do that recording, and I do have a book separated for all of that. And also when you're out places, sometimes that's like when you get the most creative ideas. You're like, where did that come from? And so don't let it go. Just really, again, just write it down and really watch how much more your brain will be able to think of because you're freeing that up. So I love that tip as well. Tip number 3 is the first 2 hours of your day is the most important. And when I say the 2 hours, that's not really waking up the kids and feeding them. That is when you are ready to sit down and start going to work. So use those 2 hours wisely. So stay off of social media. Don't worry about emails. Don't worry about text messages. How you start your day is how you're going to end your day. So just focus really on what's going to make the most difference to your productivity, whether even if it is family or if it is your business. A great book that I've read is the book called Eat That Frog. It's by Brian Tracy. It's a great book that helps you with multitasking and getting things done a lot faster and eating the big project first. I have a copy of it. So if you would like that copy, I'd give it to you, or it is also on Audible. Tip number 4, we love this one, is avoid time vampires. I like to call them kill those squirrels. Because from time to time during the day, like our notifications will pop up on our phone and we'll be like, oh, and we'll like, oh, I better get back to them. And then you get so deep. It's like when you're on social media and someone comments on your photo or you comment on them and they comment back and you're like, oh, I better get back to them. And then you get so deep into scrolling on social media. I know we've all been there because I do it all the time. So kill the squirrels and the time vampires, because as your company grows, even if when your family grows, people will need more of your time, whether it's your current customers, those interested in buying in you, your family, your friends, more notifications. So I think what we would recommend is set those boundaries. If you're working at home, put a calendar on the fridge so your family knows when your work time is, when your family time is, and also place a do not disturb sign on your door if you're at home or in your office, because you train your family just like you train your employees and the people around you. So really think about that.
I think this tip is really pertinent too right now, where a lot of us are still working from home, right?
Yeah.
I know that's a huge struggle for people. They're like, I have to be home. It's summer. My kids are home. How the heck am I going to get all this work done? So really, it's just setting clear boundaries. And if your children are old enough, hopefully they can understand what a boundary is and how to set a boundary with them in a healthy way.
Yeah, especially for your spouse.
Yes.
If your kids are too young, it'll allow your spouse.
They should know. They should be privy to all of that.
Yeah, but you train those around you. So if you're going to train them to have an unlimited amount of time, they will do that.
Yeah.
And Emily and I are really good at like just setting those boundaries as well. On our calendar, we'll have open slots. So we're like, oh, we need anything, she's open at this time. That's when I can get her attention. Tip number 5, the last not least, but the most important. We will never have more time in our lives. We just won't. But we can always have more value in our personal or in professional lives. And customers don't buy your time. Even if you're a coach or a service-based company, they do not buy your time. And your team members, they do not get paid by the hours they work. It's all a value game. It's the value you provide and the value that they can provide you. So list out your benefits. List out your values that you are currently providing, and then list more ways that you can increase those value. Maybe even collaborate with more people if you need help with increasing more value. If you need more information on how to increase your value and your time, we do have our other 3 paid classes that will help you do so. And all of these will break down even more in our free online course. So now, Emily, let's talk about being busy or being productive.
Yeah.
And why that's even important to take action on these steps.
Hi, Ellie. Thank you so much. She just commented, she's watching on Facebook. She said that notifications and curating your feed is key. And I really love that. So not just watching those notifications, but making sure your feed on social media is one that's not going to be like really a time sucker, right? And then Ryan says, your time is yours. Don't just give it away. Yeah, that's the most valuable asset that we have. And then Stacy is like, yeah, I need to set time blocks. Yes, absolutely. It's so helpful, Stacy. I would highly recommend it. So something that I have learned recently and something that I have been bad at is telling people when they ask me, how am I say, oh, I'm busy. I'm so busy, right? Like it's like some kind of a good thing. But we are not supposed to be busy. We're not supposed to be busy. So I'm going to quote an article by Jory McKay. It's an article by Fast Company. And if you want the link, let me know. I can share it with you. But he says, busyness has slowly and tactfully become the workplace religion. And in order to do meaningful work, become more creative and productive, we need to take a step away from the always on, no room to breathe, hectic pace of the modern workplace. So again, let's do meaningful work, let's become more creative, and let's become more productive by stepping away from being busy. We talk about being busy as if we have no control over our time. We talk about it like it's a good thing, but really being busy is not a good thing. Humans are not meant to be busy. And obviously having priorities, keeping on top of things that you need to do is obviously very important, or else nothing would get done. But busy does not equal success. You cannot busy yourself out of things, right? So you can't busy yourself out of quality conversations with people, which I have done a lot, especially when I get home from work. It's like, oh, today was so busy. Like, I'm just, leave me alone, you know? We know a lot of business owners who busy themselves out of a lot of tasks that they have the ability and even the ability to create the time to do it on their own. But they choose to hire it out and then they're unhappy with those results. So there's a lot of issues that come from being busy. And a lot of those are things that we don't even see that are happening to us in our lives. But with all that said about like busying yourself out of your business, that's not to say that delegating tasks is wrong or bad, or hiring someone to do something for you is bad. In fact, it's something that we talk about a whole lot in our Shiro Business Bootcamp course, how important it is. But you really should have a really dang good reason to busy yourself out of your own business. That you should have a really good reason, right? You should fill that time with something that you cannot hire anyone else to do. Going back to the whole workplace religion thing, you do two things when you tell someone you're busy. First, you're basically telling them that you are horrible at time management. Second, you're telling other people that busy equals good. Therefore, you're kind of furthering that myth that if you're busy, you're going to be successful somehow in some way, which is absolutely not the case.
Yeah. So,
and also, you know, when you tell people that you're busy, for me, it's a pretty good indicator that someone is really bad at time management.
Or I'm not important.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So just because your list is stacking up, you have tons of stuff to do, that doesn't mean that all those things are going to be done or those goals are going to be completed. And obviously, yes, everyone has a really long list of to-dos. There's no getting around that. But you don't have to drive yourself to the grave trying to get all of those completed. And that goes back to what we were talking about with time blocking and time management, like literally blocking out your schedule that way, putting your tasks onto your schedule. It goes so much deeper than that. It's about understanding that humans are not meant to be busy. And this is something that Sharon says often that I really love. We are meant to thrive, not just survive. And if you don't have a good handle on your time management skills and you're always busy, like you're just surviving. That's what you're doing. You're not thriving. You are just surviving.
Yeah.
We are not meant to be busy people.
It's like things we already know. Like everything we just said, we already know it, but it's so important to always get that reminder and that recap of where are you spending your time? Mm-hmm. What are you actually doing? Because I know for all of us can relate to this. At the end of the day, you really sit back and you're like, dang, did I even get anything done? Well, when you can really like time block your calendar, and Emily and I, we do it every hour. What are we doing every hour? And if we're not done with that, we'll either push our calendar back or we'll move on to the next task, and the next day schedule it to finish the next task. And we live by our calendar, again, because it holds each other accountable. Your calendar holds you accountable, especially if you don't have a business coach. And again, when you put things on your calendar, it's like a deadline. It has you look forward to something. And I think also not just doing every single hour, but putting self-care in there as well, because like running a business, running a family, everything we do in life, it's like running a race. I don't know if you've ever done marathons or track in school. The more you run, the more you get exhausted. And you have to remember and relate that to your time management. Are you just sprinting until you can't go no more, and then you have no energy to finish the race? Or are you gonna put some self-care in your calendar where you're gonna work for two full hours, and then you're gonna go take a 10-minute walk or whatever that is? So make sure you're actually, just like sometimes we have to reload our computer and our tabs in order, like they just get so stuck. That's our brains too. And then again, that's what Emily talked about, of having those tabs. And then, sorry, I just have something to add real quick. So this reminds me a lot of going back to Sharon's first question about when do you know that you're ready to start your day? So this is something that James Garrett with Brain by Design taught us. And it's that motivation in your brain doesn't come to you before you start a task. It comes after you finish the task.
So motivation is something that sparks in you after you finish something. So that's again why time blocking things in your schedule is really effective, because after that hour, you know, you get that alert on your phone that's like, oh, in 10 minutes, this task is starting or whatever. Then you feel good because you're like, oh, great. Like, I'll finish this up really quick. And your brain is so happy about that. Like, your brain is really happy. It doesn't care how big the task is. It doesn't care like how big your goal is.
Yeah.
It just cares that you get it done. And then that's where that motivation comes from. And that's what can keep you like chugging on throughout the day.
Yeah. And I think the reason why to-do lists are so like just drilled in our brain and just writing it down and not really doing anything with it, our brain likes things crossed off or
Yep.
checked off. So I think that's why these to-do lists are so important. So if you're totally to-do list based right now, maybe rethink of a different system that you can use, or even
or just put it in your schedule. Like,
Yeah.
just do, if your to-do list is 5 things, then be like, okay, I can take 30 minutes on this. That's not going to take me a whole hour. And then I'll take 15 minutes on this. I'll take a whole hour on this, and just literally like place it in your schedule.
Yeah. And I think a story for me is I've learned that this has really made a difference in my life, and growing She Sparks the way we have been able to grow it these last couple years. When you can stick to a calendar, you're actually, you know, you have some momentum and you can really feel it, because there's something very visual instead of just seeing like just a list written. You can see your whole week planned out, and you know you're going places, you know what you're doing, you know what you're accomplishing, and just know that like there will be distractions in our lives that calendar you will not be able to follow it. Sometimes you're going to get a call that you have to answer, or go take care of your kids, or some type of emergency that's going to mess that up.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens. But when that happens to you, restructure your calendar, restructure your day. Make sure before your day starts, it's already finished, it's already written out, and reward yourself.
Yeah, that's important.
This is something that we've been able to reach our goals, get the members we need to do, even our courses. We wouldn't have our courses if we didn't reward ourselves. So go do something fun, not just self-care. Rewards are not self-care. Rewards are just boundaries you need to set yourself. And then again, kill those squirrels. Turn off your notifications. Do not start your day with social media, emailing, and text messaging.
Mm-hmm.
Those first 2 hours are the most important time for you to get things done. So again, ask yourself, do you not have enough time, or do you not have set priorities? Because where you spend your time is where you're going to gain the most results. And I think that is so key when growing a family and growing a business. And so really ask yourself every morning, am I ready to start my day? Is my day scheduled? And we just do it day by day.
Yeah.
So the day before, we'll plan that next day. We don't plan the whole week.
Yeah.
But just a reminder, if you're just jumping on, share our live video if you really need help with some more focus for 30 days and how to complete those and split up your value categories.
Mm-hmm.
But we really want to share with you our free online course that goes into even more details about everything we've talked about.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump on into that.
In addition to receiving this, our free online course goes over in more detail all of the training that we just did. And then we have a separate video about how to use a grid like this to your utmost advantage. So it's a lot more than what's written on this paper, which is really cool.
And hello, everyone jumping on. Just a reminder, this is on our Facebook if you want to do a recap. So we're going to jump on and share with you our free course that we want to share with all of you.
Ryan, thank you so much for saying that. He was saying that at the end of his day, he reconciles it and goes through everything that he accomplished. And I think for a lot of like type A people, that's a really good reward, right? Going through and being like, I got this done, I got this done. And you're like patting yourself on the back, you know? I think that's a really good way to like reward yourself too. Like being like, yeah, I did 17 things today that I didn't think I would get done, you know?
Well, it's funny because when you like go home to your significant other, it's like, how'd your day go? It's like, great, I got a lot done. I did this. And so, all right, so we're going to just do a quick deep dive. We're going to walk you through this. So you have an idea of the free tool that you have in your back pocket, as well as other resources you can use. So Emily, do you mind just giving them a walkthrough?
Yeah.
We'll show them the free one first.
So this is our online courses. This is the basic homepage that we have for it. So here are all of our online courses here. These are the paid courses, but again, this is at shesparksbiz.learnworlds.com. And I'm just going to go to explore all courses.
And members get 50% off.
Yeah, that's a huge steal, honestly, for all the content that's in these. So this is our biggest course. It's the Business Bootcamp, which we had a launch party for a couple weeks ago or a week ago.
That one?
Yeah.
So we can kind of.
So here is what it looks like before you enroll. So this is for someone who needs a ton of clarity and focus, just general business growth, more value. This will teach you how to build more value into your business, marketing strategies, and a mindset transformation. So here is where you can see everything that's included in all of our courses. They all look like this. So this one in particular has 24 PDFs, 2 assignments for accountability. That's accountability is built in, and then 28 videos, 28 training videos. And then you can go through and see exactly what is in the course right here. And yeah, so that is our Business Bootcamp. I will show you the free course, what that looks like. So again, same topic as what our training was today, but this it's a lot richer. Whoops. It's a lot richer in content. It has a lot more to it. Time management, there we go. Okay, so you just click register for free. You create an account. It will ask you to create an account, and then you just enroll in the course, and you have this course for life. All of our courses you have for life, by the way. So you can use it to train future employees or current employees. It's amazing. It's really great. So again, here we go. We have 3 videos. We have a PDF, which is again, this 30-day focus sheet, and then a video that explains the 30-day focus sheet. So there's a lot more oomph in that one as well.
And for those who are like, I think getting really emotional, life, you have to continue always educating yourself. You got to stay in that momentum. And the reason why we created these courses was because we love doing our strategy sessions where we sit down with you for an hour. This allows us to help so many more people and leave that legacy and help entrepreneurs or even startups get to where they deserve. It's like, if you want to learn social media, why would you learn it all by yourself? Go hire some experts. Go ask a friend who knows it. Save yourself time management. Find the resources for the things you want to learn. Don't try to always learn it yourself, because it'll just take 10 more times to do so. So if you have any questions, we're going to give you just 30 seconds to write them below so we can answer them.
Looks like we have someone in the Q&A.
I think that's Jenna. Hey ladies, that's Jenna.
Perfect.
So if you have any questions for us, you know, how we've been able to manage She Sparks Business, Elite, Girls Camp, online courses, we are so everywhere right now, and we've able to accomplish it. So if you have any questions, definitely let us know.
Ooh, I love these questions. So how do we answer that question when we are asked? How do we answer, how are you doing? I don't know, maybe be honest. that would be my suggestion. So be honest and be like, you know, I have a lot going on, or like, I feel really productive today. And Laura just said, what's a better word to use than busy, productive, or creative, or focused? I love the word focused. I think that's a great word to use.
I usually say happy and productive.
Yeah, that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
And then
I actually have a question for you.
Yes.
While we wait for a couple more questions. So think of a question you would like to ask us. So Miss Emily here, she has done so much for She Sparks Business with our online courses and mainly Girls Camp, right? So when people get thrown very large projects, Emily, what is a good system for them to start? So let's say someone out there has a business idea and they want it launched off the ground and they feel so impatient. Like, what are at least a couple steps people can take to break down very large projects.
Yep. So this, I'm going to go back to this. I love this. I learned this when I was in sales at a big company. So you basically, you can use this by like, okay, this is my 30-day grid. For the next 30 days, here's all the stuff I have to do. And then you organize it into what's the most urgent, what is the most important, and then you can look at your tasks and be like, okay, this isn't urgent and it's also not important. So maybe I should just drop it, right? So I would say if you have a big project, ask yourself questions like, okay, what's the most urgent thing to do? And what's the most important thing to do? And organize them in that way. So that's kind of what you do with this grid. I think it might be backward for everyone on Zoom, but urgent and important, urgent, not important, not urgent, but it's important. And then we have not urgent and not important that goes down here. So basically this is where most people live. And this is where busyness happens. This is where it's like, oh, like everything is important. Everything is urgent. We have to do it today. You don't want to live here. You want to live right here where it's important. So you know that you're doing meaningful work, like you're not wasting time. And then it's not urgent. So this is where you plan it. This is where you can take the time that you need to be creative and you can plan that task. You can plan what you're doing. And then again, if it's not urgent and not important in your life, you should drop that task. You don't need to worry about it. And then you can come back to it down the road, but
and we do this almost every week, every month. We're always looking back at this. And I think before we move to the next question, to answer the question I just asked her with large projects, if you have something large you want to do, podcasts, a book, any project you're doing, whether it's for yourself or for your team, just start brain dumping. Either talk in a recorder, start brain dumping and building that outline. Just go back to high school when you're like outline, and then start writing. So, okay, the next question.
Stacy says, do you set up time blocks on your calendar or on your calendar on your phone or write it on a calendar? So both. We use our Google Calendar because it is synced to our phones. So our calendar just literally looks like color blocks everywhere, because every minute of our day is dedicated to something.
Yeah, and everybody is a different learner. I mean, some people are more written. For me, I used to use just a book, and I loved writing a book because I had it with me all the time. But when you start getting your husband and your employees and all of these people who have to see your calendar, because people need to know what you're doing, or again, they're going to take all of your time. So whatever system works for you, do it. Online I like it because you always have it with you anyways, and you can share it with other people. So I hope that helped. Just a quick comment. So Tara, we love you. Can't wait to join She Sparks in the near future. I'm excited as well. You're amazing at what you do. She also said, I loved when you said there will never be enough time, but there can always be more value. Thank you. Thank you. You are welcome.
Yeah, awesome. Any other questions?
And hello, everyone just jumping on Facebook, #replay. Definitely jump on and watch the rest of this video. If you want some more tips, reach out to us, set up a strategy session with me. Emily actually has some exciting news. We'll end the video with here, just so the world kind of knows where She Sparks is headed and how excited we both are. So yeah, do you want to share that? And then we can end the video.
So yesterday I announced to all of our She Sparks members, if there's any members on here, then I will just break the news to you now. I have a new opportunity come up in my life. So I will be leaving the She team for the time being. I will be doing similar work in marketing and digital marketing and community relations at a assisted living community called Ovation. It's brand new here in town, and I'm really excited about it. I'm a little nervous, right? Just like any big change in your life comes a lot of uncertainty. So if any of you guys have tips on uncertainty, let me know. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I'm really excited. It was not an easy decision to leave She Sparks, but I'm I'm hoping it was the right decision. So we'll see. But yeah, I love you all, and doing these webinars and these trainings has been really, really fun. Ryan says Ovation is right by my house. Awesome. I will be your stalker. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, this has been really fun.
I will
and
miss
I love
Emily
it.
dearly. To end this video, I'll miss her. I'm excited about what else is going to be coming knocking on She Sparks door. And all I can say is, if you're going through something hard right now, or if you have a decision that you're struggling with and you just don't know when the right answer is going to fall in your lap, just know within the last month of Emily leaving, my dog's leg getting amputated, and me trying to just take care of my health, no matter what decision it is, the hardest decision or the right decision that you're going through, it's all the same. So whether you're trying to exit a current company and grow your own and leaving those benefits, just know that life will fall into place just the way you need it. And people come and go when you need them the most. So whoever's in your life right now, be grateful. Whoever is eventually leaving or who have left your life, also be very, very grateful, because there's a plan and opportunities coming your way. With that said, share this video to receive the 30-day grid that Emily has talked about. Jump on to our courses, especially the free course. Reach out to me for a strategy session. We are here for you. I want to help grow your business. Emily, we love you. Thanks for our last online training. We'll see you all next time.
Bye, guys.
See ya.